Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Rabbi Abe Hardoon from abehardoon.com. I'd like to welcome you to a very special class about 10 mystical secrets of how to be successful, of money. In other words, what tools many Jewish people use to be successful. Now, that's not to say that other people don't use these secrets as well. But, there's always this idea that Jews are successful people or per capita more successful than other groups. And whether that's true or not, and if your take on it is positive or negative, these principles can help all of us become more successful. Now, I want to base whatever I'm telling you here on the Kabbalah. Okay, the Kabbalah, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is the mystical aspect of Judaism, but it has nothing to do, per se, with religion. In fact, the Kabbalists, those ancient sages of this wisdom, were of the opinion that the Bible was never meant for religion, to create organized religion, but rather the Creator wants to share with us tools that our life can be better, that we can have control in our life, that we don't have to be subject to the chaos and confusion which seems to be commonplace or normal in life. So, in fact, the probably most well-known part of the Bible is the Ten Commandments. The Book of Splendor, one of the main source texts of the Kabbalah, says that clearly that these are not commandments, but rather Eitzah Tovah, which is Hebrew for good advice. It's good advice. Yes, don't steal, don't kill, all of those things, don't murder rather, is good advice. And it is good advice. If you want to live a better life, but there's a mystical and cosmic secret to each one. Those 10 things are also access points into the 10 dimensions of this universe. So we're not going to go into that, but what we will go into is 10 mystical secrets of success, okay, based on the Kabbalah and mystical Judaism. All right? Get ready. So, number one. Now, again, the Bible seems to have precepts, meaning orders, commandments, and that's not so. Again, the first rule of Kabbalah says that there is no coercion in spirituality. Nobody can force you, not even God, whatever God is, because we don't really know what God is, but the universe cannot force you to do anything. There is free will, once we understand what free will is. And you must choose to do something or not, you're not doing it. I mean, the Creator did not create robots just to take orders. That's not why we're here, okay? So there's no coercion. So precepts mean things that you can use. These are tools that you can use. Okay, the first one we're going to discuss relating to success is teaching your children how to swim. Number one, teach your children how to swim. What does this mean? Well, obviously, it's good for your kid to know how to swim. That's probably a no-brainer, especially if you live near water. Yeah, but this is a metaphor for teaching your children survival skills. How to make a living, or how to create a business, or what you need to do, how to be with people in relationships, especially work-related, relationship-related. It's a parent's responsibility not to just kind of let the kid, just learn by trial and error. It's kind of mean. I mean, think about it. The worst way to learn anything is by trial and error. If you can be taught, because, there's going to be the trial and error anyway, but you want to, you clothe and feed your child, you need to also help them understand the world. So, for an example, if a child is spoiled because they get whatever they want from their mom or dad, Well, is that going to help them in life later? Obviously not. They're not going to know how to do for themselves. They'll be dependent. They will tend to be victims. Not good. That's not good. So it's not taking care of your child. In fact, it's considered a type of abuse. Spoiling a child is considered a type of abuse biblically, or at least to the secret books. And it makes sense because really you're setting your kid up for difficulty later on. So don't spoil them. Teach them what they need to know and help them to learn independence, help them to learn responsibility. All those things, very, very important. And it will help you in business yourself. What goes around comes around. Remember, it's all about energy. Number 2, honesty in weights and measures. There's a principle, it says in the Bible, again, the Bible is a code, that if you sell someone something, you must be, give them an honest weight. Okay? You're in a deli, and you're working in the deli, you must, a person asks for a pound, don't give them 0.999. Give them a pound or give them more. The thing is, and it's been my experience, probably yours too, whatever you ask for, they always give you a little more, but they charge you for it, okay? No. If I asked for a pound, I didn't ask for a pound and an eighth. I asked for a pound. So don't give me a pound and an eighth because maybe I don't have enough money for a pound and a quarter or a pound and an eighth or whatever. The point here is always err in whatever it is that you're doing. Always err. In other words, round it off always to the higher value, but don't expect more for that. That's your merit. You're building your own credit score with the universe, okay? Very important. In fact, it says one of the things that a person is asked when he leaves his body after he passes from this world, he or she, is, were you honest in business? It's extremely important. Number 3, it's extremely important to have a positive connection with money. Now, have you ever heard the term money is the root of all evil? Have you heard that? Absolutely false. Well, what would you say if I told you I want all the money in the world? What would you think of me? Greedy, selfish, self-centered? Yeah, but what if I want to feed every hungry person in the world? What if I want to cure every disease? Does that take money? Absolutely does. So money is not a bad thing. And you can't know what money's about until you know what the person's about. Money is a tool, nothing more. In fact, it's one of the most powerful tools on the physical level. Why? Because it's potential of almost anything to be revealed. Okay? Anything physical and energetic, because what does a person want from money beyond their needs? Some people want freedom, security, peace of mind, and so on. A person may want status. It may help my image. Now, we're not getting into what's good or bad over here. The point is that money represents potential energy. It's energy. It's a transfer. Why? Because you put in effort and energy, you got money in return. If you worked or you have a business, you put your energy in. The energy you got in exchange is money. Now that money represents your energy, and what you do with it is important because that's how you are bringing your energy into fruition, revealing your energy. So if you use it for good things, it puts more of you into good things. If you don't do good things with it, it puts your energy into not good things, okay? Please keep that in mind. It's, what they say, the love of money. Again, you can love money. That's not a problem in itself, unless it's, to the end of all else. If you have a positive relationship with money, it means you understand it's a tool, it represents energy, and it can be used to bring harmony, it can bring food, it can bring, blessings to others. Who says it needs to be all about you? That's only something we decide, okay? Positive connection to money. Number 4, contribute to your community. Help your community. Important, okay? Building communities brings unity among people, obviously for positive purposes, okay? A community which is built on a foundation of helping others, helping the world, doing outreach, again, to help others is a very positive thing. Now, there may be those in need. Oh, they need help. Help them. Giving to your community is extremely important. Remember, the cardinal rule, what goes around comes around. The more you help others and the more you build community, it means you're bringing more unity. Unity has power. Unity for positive purposes, there's no power like that. No other power like that. In fact, if there's negativity around, a community which is in unity and love with each other will be able to overcome just about any difficulty with the power of their unity. But when there's, disunity and, judging and all that, well, there's no protection in that. There's no protection in that, okay? Helping your community, it's important, okay? Number 5, the mystical secret. One of the greatest mystical secrets for abundance of money in your life, is charity. Understanding the importance of giving charity. Now, the Bible is very clear that we need to give 1/10 of our earnings to charity, to a good cause. Now, I won't go into that, but that can be very, very layered in meaning. But nevertheless, to help a good cause. And so a person will say, well, yeah, but what if I don't want to give? I mean, I have, but I don't want to give. The wording of the Bible in Hebrew is extremely interesting. In the section in Deuteronomy where it says, it speaks about tithing. Tithing means 1/10 of your earnings, 1/10 of your net earnings after taxes, before personal expenses. If you're on an employee, and if you're an employer, there's other ways to figure out what exactly your tithing amount would be. But the wording is very specific. It says in the Hebrew, aser ta'aser, 1/10 you shall tithe. Now, what's interesting about that is it's not a question. It's a statement. It's an exclamation. You will tithe 1/10. In other words, it's almost like it's not asking. It's telling you you're going to. Now, what's the secret? What's the mystical secret here? Well, according to the Kabbalist, this is to tell us that if you want to expand yourself, meaning, cup can only receive so much, right? It's limited to the size of the cup. What makes the cup limited? It's the bottom of the cup, right? If there would be no bottom, how much could you put in the cup? Endless, right? So let's divide that cup into 10 sections, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the 10th stage is the bottom of the cup. That's what makes it a cup, right? When you give 1/10, what you're doing in effect is removing the bottom. You remove the limitation of the cup, whereas you couldn't receive that amount before. You remove the limitation, you will be able to begin to increase your abundance. And it's one of the purposes of tithing. Now, there are many teachings that speak about tithing. People, even many who understand the Bible literally, because it's very clear, talks about tithing. But what most people don't understand is, again, the question is, well, what if I just don't want to? Well, energy is energy, and you can't fool energy. Meaning atoms, you can't fool the atoms, right? They have certain force. You can't lie to them. You can't. What the Bible is giving us is a cosmic rule. When you receive something, 1/10 of it doesn't belong to you. It's limitation. And by the way, it's better that it wouldn't belong to you. Don't try to hold on to it, because we don't want limitation in our life. Do we want limitation of our abundance? Do we want limitation of, God forbid, our health? Do we want limitation in anything? No. We want to be unlimited all the time. We would like to be unlimited. We'd like to be free. That's the bigger purpose of tithing. It's to remove the limitation. Because it says, aser to aser, 1/10 you shall tithe. So if I don't want to, does that mean I won't? No. It simply means you will lose a minimum of 10% somewhere. Or you won't see the newspaper that says there's a discount over there at that store. Or you're going to lose money over there in that deal, transaction, stock purchase. Whatever. I mean, things come and go constantly in our life. The difference is when we voluntarily give this 10%, we earn back up to 20%. And I can't get into all the details, but that's part of the mystical secrets. Because when it says 1/10, that's 10%, you shall tithe, that's another 10%. 10 plus 10, 20. Okay, so when you do the tithe, when you give your 10%, you're increasing your capacity now to receive You make the place to receive up to 20% more. And that's a good thing. So now you can tithe again. You understand? We should look forward to giving. We should look forward to giving this charity because it helps us receive more abundance and removes blockages from our life. It's one of the true secrets of abundance. Enough said, okay? Number 6. Now this is interesting, and you may have to think about this. Never buy something at half price that you wouldn't be willing to pay full price for. Goods or services, again, never buy anything at half price that you wouldn't be willing to pay full price. So you see something, whatever, you see something at the store, and it's, whatever, $10. And you say, well, if it would be $5, maybe I'd buy it. But why wouldn't you buy it for $10? Because you don't feel it's worth it, right? You don't really feel it's worth it. And you see it, now it's $5. So now you think it's worth $5, you should buy it? No. You see, the rule is, if you don't have a real desire for something, now this is, again, going a little deeper. When you have a true desire for something, you'll be willing to do whatever it is. You would be willing to pay the price, even if it's overpriced, let's say. What do you mean overpriced? Don't we pay too much for things all the time? Yeah, but we wanted them, so we bought it. Those things you usually keep the fulfillment from more than things you just kind of bought along the way. So again, you buy something on sale that you wouldn't be willing to buy on sale, it's going to end up in the garage, in the garbage, in a drawer, okay? You're not going to enjoy it for long. That's the point. If you're willing to pay full price for it, the point is you will have appreciation for it more, you will feel the energy from it more because you invested in it. It may have been a sacrifice, but you felt it was worth it to you. To you, and that's what's important. Who places value? We do. Nobody else. We place value on things. So if it's, if it costs 2 cents to manufacture, but the price is $100, if I feel it's worth it, I'll buy it, right? Well, we do anyways, right? Again, value is in the eye of the beholder. And again, if you wouldn't buy it on sale. Now, what's the purpose of a sale or a discount? It's a bonus. It's a bonus. You were on the way to the store. You wanted to buy that thing. All of a sudden you go, and it's on sale. Wow, great. By the way, if you do your tithing properly, you're going to find sales. Okay, it's going to save you money. Okay? Never buy goods for half price that you wouldn't pay full price for. Number 7. There's a principle which we call, it's known by everyone, the golden rule. What's the golden rule? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Or, said differently, that which is odious to your neighbor, do not do to yourself, do not do to others. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. Okay? I think it's clear. This is extremely important because this encompasses so much. And it's important because, again, what goes around comes around. And, you know, if we would want others to give us the benefit of the doubt, right? I mean, of course, we give ourselves the benefit of the doubt. And we may be too quick to judge. Cut other people a break. Again, in whichever way, this should be a principle that we should strive to live by at any given moment. When in doubt, go to number 7. Love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. Now that doesn't mean anything goes, certainly not. But first, give the benefit of the doubt. It depends. Again, every situation is different. But again, do our best to treat others the way we would like to be treated. And if we're even halfway successful doing that, we're on our way to great things. Okay? Number 8. Number 8 relates to a day of rest. Now, there's a lot to talk about over here. But we need a day of rest to recharge. Now, let me explain that. Recharge is certainly understood like a battery. If you have a rechargeable battery, and we're like that too. When we sleep, we recharge. Doing different things, actions helps us to recharge. But the purpose of the Shabbat, as we call it, or the Sabbath day, the 7th day, is not a day to rest. Let me be clear. And again, this is again a very long discussion. The Bible says clearly it's a day of rest, not a day to rest. Now, what does that mean? A more complicated idea relates to this principle of rest. When something is at rest, it is completely fulfilled. I mean, think about it for a second. The only reason why we move is to fulfill a lack. The only reason why there is movement is because there's a lack of some sort. Big or small, doesn't matter what. Think about it, meditate on it. Our eyes blink, they move, it's to fulfill a lack. You know, if we wouldn't, they'll become painful and dry. If, you know, we'll scratch our back because we have an itch. Even our mind moves a million miles a moment when we're stressed, we have things that we're worried, we have a lack somewhere, we're thinking about it, we're obsessing about it. Movement of any kind is the result of lack. If that's true, what is rest? Rest is complete and total fulfillment. So the Kabbalists, the ancient sages of the Kabbalah, explain that the light of the Creator, the Creator's light, which means the force of every level of fulfillment, the cosmic force of all fulfillment, is at a state always of complete and total rest. There is no movement. It is endless in nature, and there's no movement at all. Never. Now, what moves? We move. You know, a good analogy would be like the sun. Does the sun move? Oh yeah, there's sunrise and sunset. No, the sun never moves. We're, Earth is turning. We're going around and around, day, night, day, night, day, night. But if you didn't know that, you would think the sun is going up and down, right? I mean, it's not going to, even logically we know that, it's not going to stop us from going to the beach and watching a beautiful sunset, is it? Or a sunrise. Same idea. Light, energy of all fulfillment is at a complete and total rest. When it says about the Sabbath day that it is a day of rest, it means the day has complete and total rest, which means it's a day full of energy, full of positive, full of fulfillment. Now, are there things that you can do to tap into more of that energy? Absolutely, yes. But don't detract from it, which means working on your usual job, creating new things, new ideas and everything is called creation. When you create, the more you create on the seventh day, it detracts from your charge. Take a day off, do what you want with it, reboot. But don't create new things. New things are transactions, new creations, new ideas, working. No, whether it's physically or in your mind. Now you can certainly work on the Sabbath day. You can serve lunch for 300 people on roller skates if you want, and wash the dishes if you need them for the next meal. That's not considered work. Work is new creation. And I won't get into the deeper understanding of that, but use that day you can relax. You can do your own prayers or meditations or whatever it is that you do. Again, use it as a day to recharge your battery. And at Saturday night, Sunday comes, go back to your cell phone, okay? But up until then, put it down for the sake of sanity, if nothing else. But there's huge light to be had, huge energy to be had by using that day as a recharge, a day to recharge the battery. Number 9, view your work or business also as spiritual work. It's not just what you do. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why is your destiny to be working over there or doing this? And it doesn't mean it's forever. It may be a stepping stone to something else, but whatever you do, whoever you meet, the things that you need to do, the things that you don't want to do, but you need to do to, keep things going and make it successful, it's part of your karmic work. We call it the tikkun, the correction. It's spiritual work. So understanding that can really help you over a lot of hurdles sometimes, because overcoming a lot of the challenges where you might otherwise give up if you have the choice to, it helps. When we go through a difficult time, when we know there's a purpose to it, it helps. It gets us over the hurdle. When there's purpose, it alleviates the suffering. And we say, well, no, at least I'm doing something here. It's meaningful. Understand your work. Again, number 9, understand your work is also part of your spiritual work. Number 10, and we'll wrap it up. Number 10, you know how it says on U.S. money, in God we trust? Well, you need to trust a higher power. You don't have to call it God. In fact, we don't really know what God is. The Kabbalists know that there are many, many different names that relate to this force of creation. There's many levels of connection. But it's very important to acknowledge and to understand, oh, wait a second. Nobody is my boss. Even my boss isn't really my boss. Even my clients, I don't really serve them. I serve a higher power. I don't know what it is. I don't have to know what it is. But what I do need to know is I don't want to make anything else my God. I don't want to make money my God. I don't want to make people my God, which means I don't want to give her over the control, my soul's control over to anything else except the higher power. And again, I don't have to know what that higher power is. I just need to desire to be connected to it. That's it. But to know that nobody has control over me, and I should not allow anyone or anything or emotions, my own emotions, to get the better of me. I should always know that I was given a soul, I have free will, and if it doesn't come from here, it'll come from there, because the source of my sustenance is cosmic. It's not coming from this client or that client or this boss. No. It comes from the universe. God, if you wish, the cosmos. Important understanding. So we are not bound. We have free will. We don't need to sell ourselves for a job, to break our principles. For any reason, we should never be willing to sell a piece of our soul. Why? Because in God we trust. Be blessed, everyone. Use these principles and you will see more success and abundance coming your way. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell notification so you are notified whenever I put up a new video. Be blessed and all the best.